Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
It's not that yet. Greetings, Intercoopalings.
Internet Coopalings.
Welcome to the Play Some Nintendo Shack.
What is happening?
A lot is happening. We are on early and we are together again.
I can't believe this is happening.
I can't either.
I was looking forward to it until somebody just decided to quit. He was like, no, I'm not doing that.
It's because I said I was going to be here. I'm sorry, Internet.
It's true.
It's
true. It's damn true.
He's afraid of me.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of men are.
Yeah, Jules, middle of the week Shack. That's true. I think that's true. Rebecca's an intimidating persona.
I don't know why. I didn't do anything.
Oh, you don't intimidate me. You intimidate Delvin.
No,
but I see it to other people. I see other people. They're very
Delvin?
Nah.
100%.
Nah. I know one thing. I'm going to buy Rebecca a new shirt. Get that Delvin shirt. Gotta flip that up.
Yeah. So Jules, yes, we were going to do a crossover show. Rebecca can't record this Sunday. So I was like, okay, well, we don't want to record without her because I was going to save all my Zelda talk for her anyway.
Correct.
So I was like, well, then let's just do it tonight because my vacation sucked. I've had the week from hell.
Yes, you did.
And guess what? I could use the weekend off. So I was like, you know what? We'll just do the one show. We'll do it on both. And that was a great plan until Dev quit. And now it's like, what the fuck?
He quit the episode, John, not PSVG. Let me
So anyway.
I'm sorry that your vacation was so bad.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was the worst vacation. I will tell you a little bit about it because that's what we do here at Plays and Video Games Story Time. All right, so I was going on vacation last week. We were booked for Gulf Shores last week. So go back in time to Monday. That hurricane that was coming was aimed right at Gulf Shores. And I had a deadline on when I could cancel. And it was that Monday at noon. And after talking to everybody, I was like, all right, we'll cancel the Gulf Coast trip and we'll just move it to the Atlantic. We'll move to the other coast. We'll be safe over there. It's all the way over there. So we moved it to Jekyll Island. And then the storm turned right at that.
Which I called, by the way.
You did.
I said that's going to happen.
My in-laws were going to come stay with the kids at my house. And then we were going to go. It was a non-refundable at this point because it's such short notice. So we're going. I'm like, all right, we're going to go. And I'm just going to try to make the best of it. Still thinking, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if you remember all the different cones of error and all that. We were still, even as it started to turn that way, like towards Tallahassee, we were still outside of the cone on the east side. We were still out there. So I was like, we'll be okay. Okay. So we go all the way down there. Work is calling me. I had to pull over on the way there.
No.
Work is calling me left and right. They're all busy getting, all hot to trot. My in-laws call me and they're like, we don't feel safe here at your house because of that tree that fell a couple weeks ago. They're like, you got trees all over the place. I'm like, yeah, those trees have been here for 100 years. Like,
it was 100-year hurricane.
I was like, you can't just predict when the things would come. So my in-laws, they tell me, they go, you know what? We're going to take your kid and your animals back to our house. That sounds nice, right? Yeah. But there's a problem with that. For people who have listened to our show for a long time, they know that my basement is prone to flooding. And we have a pump in the basement that stops it from doing that. And that pump won't work if the power's out. So my son and I are in the routine that if the power ever goes out, that we know to get the generator, to fill it up, to turn it on, to get that pump running. Otherwise, we're going to be having a bad night cleaning up water in the basement. So I told my father, I'm like, you can't leave. Like, you're the only, that's the whole reason of us putting you there is if somebody turns on that generator. And he's like, well, we don't want to be here. I had to pay for them to get a hotel room. So they would just be nearby to turn on the generator if the power goes out, if a tree hits the house. and the power did go out, and they did have to come turn on the generator. So I'm dealing with all of this while I'm supposed to be on vacation. And then we go to sleep. Hurricane keeps turning. I'm not sure if you saw that last turn right as it comes across land. It shifted to the east a bit. We caught the outside wall of the hurricane. And the entire island was without power, was without gas. There's none of the restaurants were open. There's no convenience store. There's nothing. Even if you have cash, you can't buy anything. No air conditioning. Couldn't even get in the pool because the pumps weren't running. And the first day we were there, can't leave. There's trees down, can't drive out. So we just had to sit there until the next day. And I'll tell you, sleeping through it was pretty scary. It's in the pitch dark. There's no lights. I don't have any flashlights and
in
stuff
an unfamiliar place.
Right. And we're just sitting there sleeping, listening to a hurricane, everything outside the door.
I would be crying.
Yeah. So the next day
it was just you and Melissa?
Yeah. Yeah. The next day we pack out. Everybody has seen the destruction. Obviously, the island didn't catch it nearly as bad as North Carolina and Eastern Georgia. It is truly horrific. We had to drive from the coast, from Savannah, all the way to essentially Macon, the northern middle part of the state. I'm 150 miles we had to drive before we found places with electricity again. Now, I was lucky, or not lucky, I was prepared. I brought 10 gallons of gas with me, knowing that this could happen. So I didn't need gasoline. But we drove almost all the way to Macon before, in Dublin, which is a little bit south of Macon. I know everybody doesn't know our geography, and I'm sorry about that.
I know.
We drove maybe 2 hours before we found electricity.
Wow.
2 hours driving 80 miles an hour before we found electricity. The entire, the majority of the state just doesn't have it. It's just gone. And then when we come back, as I mentioned to you guys before I took off, that Sunday we had to evacuate a hospital. So I come back from work and all that to immediately go back to work the next morning. I'm not sure if you've seen the news.
Yeah, in the
a chlorine acid cloud just exploded into the fucking atmosphere.
What?
In a nearby county. So now we're dealing with the fallout of that. And we had a boil water advisory for half the county. It has just been the worst. The worst.
I'm sorry, Donnie. That sucks.
It sucks. Today was last night was the first night in a week that I slept for 8 hours, slept, sat down and slept. So,
yeah.
So if that explains why, when Rebecca's I can't do Sunday, I didn't even hesitate, did I, Delvin? I was let's just not do Sunday. Cause I could use a weekend. I could use a weekend. I'm gonna need to take a vacation from the vacation that I took.
Seriously. Oh man.
So
talk about his bad week. I had to run all of his goddamn shows.
Delvin, I think you had it worse.
Woe is me.
Yeah. Yeah. We did Decade of Horror. How was PSVG last week? I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear.
It was good. Every show ran really smoothly.
Yeah, I noticed when I started the thing, you set our damn bumper as an intro, so it automatically started playing. I was who? And I was Delvin. Delvin. Newman. So.
Yeah, everything went really smooth, man. It was smooth.
I mean,
sailing.
The shows went out, so I can't complain too much. The shows went out. I didn't get to talk about any of that news. There was all kinds of Ubisoft news and the PlayStation consoles, and was there another Ghost of Tsushima? This is how I've been working. I don't even know.
You're off the grid, literally.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. Those 2 days we were there without power, Rebecca, we did not have cell signal. My Wi-Fi, my phone.
Do with yourself?
Sat around drinking. What can you do?
Sound bad. Just sit around drinking.
I just want to say I would not be built for the 1700s.
You wouldn't be built for the 1970s.
I know.
You'd be built for the 1990s, barely.
Listen, Delvin, I lived in that decade.
You know how many hurricanes I've had in Miami?
Barely.
Several. Several. I have 4 or 5 power packs right there just in case.
Yeah, and that's true, but when that thing stalled, I saw a tweet the other day from the weather service that really hammers it home. They had the equivalent in North Carolina of Lake Tahoe being dumped on them in 12 hours. That's how much water
Wow.
landed. Their entire towns.
And that's
that
a
have washed
region
away.
that's not built. A lot
they're
of
not
coastal
used to it.
houses
They
are
don't-
built for that.
Correct.
They're elevated. They're
Correct.
ready to withstand
No,
it.
it's mountainous
Who
area.
would
They're
ever
having
think?
mudslides, rock slides. Entire
would ever
towns are
think?
gone.
Yep.
Entire bridges and streets are gone.
Roads. Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah,
They're
it's rough.
flying stuff in and out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's really rough.
I am happy to report no flooding at the house. No trees came down. All was well here at home.
I have a cousin in Tampa who has some pretty bad damage. I saw some videos of the house. Everything is ruined. They can't.
Yeah.
They've got to kind of start over. With
And the
everything.
difference being is the folks in Florida are used to that comes with when you buy coastal property, that comes with it. You're like, well, every 8 years or so, we will have to majorly refinance.
Yeah. Buy a new,
a
new house.
Yeah, build a new house, new roof, do something.
Yeah.
The folks in North Carolina, their whole lives are just upended, and they're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love North Carolina. Such a beautiful place, man.
Is this damage comparable to Katrina, or is it
No, definitely.
Like, is
Definitely.
this one that we're going to be talking about?
I
in
would
20
say
years?
infrastructure wise, it's worse.
Yeah.
Because at least when the floods receded in New Orleans, at least the bridges were still there. You could use them.
Yeah.
Asheville's cut off from the world. You can't get there. The only way in and out of there right now is helicopter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
scary.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that in America. The only way you can get to a city is via helicopter. How crazy is that idea?
That sounds like a Far Cry 6.
Seriously.
Right.
game. It's
Right.
crazy, but
It's
it's horrible.
unfathomable.
It is. So we had it. We definitely didn't have it nearly as bad as those folks. And the folks out there that are impacted, I absolutely feel for you. It is like my worst nightmare as an emergency manager. Like we're literally sitting over work today just dreading like, what do you even do? Like if you're an emergency manager for Wilmington, North Carolina, like what are you even doing? Like you can't like, and it's not that say like you get out there and you do what you can. Like you try to do what you can, but like
You probably feel so helpless.
handing out a bottle of water, filling a sandbag after all of it, just like you're throwing a pebble at the ocean.
Yeah.
Like you know what you need? You need billions of dollars. That's
Yeah.
what you need right now.
Yeah.
It's just they'll be working on this for years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I donated to the any cause I saw that was helping that out because it was just like it's rough, man. I've been there.
We're getting donations across the city and sending them all as up as we can too.
I've been through Andrew. I've been through all the hurricanes here, man. I tell you,
It's personal for you.
they're not fun. Like, they're not fun. You know, when funny since we talk about it, when Breath of the Wild came out, we had a hurricane and I was out without power for like.
I remember because you had it charged.
Yeah,
Like you were like, at least I can play this until it runs out.
and you know, I think that's kind of where my Switch, my love Switch came from because that was the only thing I could play. I would have to like go to my car and charge it up a little bit and play that.
And as my profession, I stay pretty ready. I have a ton of portable batteries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like if the power goes out, if I'm at
impressed
home,
you took 10 gallons of gas with you. Like,
oh yeah, I had 2 containers. I knew. I knew. I was like, there's no way. When you get out in like rural Georgia, there's nothing out there for long stretches. There's nothing out there. So I was like, that was my biggest concern. My biggest concern was like, I don't want to get stranded without fuel. So we'll just keep it with us. I had enough fuel. I could have filled up my car on the island. I could have driven to St. Louis before I needed gas. So
Wow.
That is literally one of the reasons I bought my car because it's really fuel efficient. Like if anything happens, I'll be pretty good for a while. Like
that
$30
night,
fill up and it'll last for a while.
That night I was in the car, like the second night, like because it was so hot and stuffy and humid. We just went in the car and turned the air conditioner and just leaned back. I have a really hard time sleeping in cars, but just rested, just sitting in the car, climate control.
Yeah.
So
And that too.
the vacation from hell.
You deserve a redo vacation, Donnie.
Yeah.
They can't get any of that money, time, or energy back.
I'm fighting the hotel. I want them to give my money back. And they're
They
telling me
should.
no. They're trying to fight me on it. They're like, sorry, that just happens sometimes. I was like, wait a minute. So you charge me. I was like, and this is what I told them. I was like, so on your website, you tell me this room costs this much money and you list the amenities.
And you didn't have access
Free
to any of
breakfast,
those.
pool, air conditioning, electricity. I didn't have any of those things.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even sell me crackers because you couldn't take money from me.
Yeah.
And now you won't give me money. No, I was like, no, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody else.
Yeah, I think you have a case there.
Yeah, I'm still fighting them for it. I'm gonna try to at least, and I wasn't
Was
trying
it like
to be a dick.
it was like a hotel chain, like a
I'm not trying to be a dick, but I was like, look, 2 days was good. 2 days were bad. Give me my 2 days back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
To get your, I think, loyalty, as a customer to ever stay at that chain again.
Sad part is this is where my wife and I got married. So, and like all the chaos and everything I was doing, we did get to see the beach for about 30 minutes.
Oh.
Wow.
Yo, call out the hotel on social media, then they'll be quick to refund you.
Nah, I think I'll get it. I just gotta go through the process.
See,
I've played games. Did you guys play games? I don't want to just keep talking, but I've played games.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I am dying to hear your thoughts on Echoes of Wisdom, Donnie. We were joking. Me and Delvin. Delvin.
It's gonna give you hype. Let's go.
No. Me and Delvin were joking around on Sunday on the
joking,
show. We were predicting all the things you were gonna say. Like, well, I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it. I'm pretty disappointed.
Wow.
You know how you always are like that for a game that you're so excited for, and you're like, it just didn't live out. It's
We're
not.
used to you.
I'm having
games.
It's the performance. I'm losing so many frames per second, and I don't even think I'm gonna finish it. It could have used.
Well,
it needs golf.
You say
it needs golf.
It needs golf. That's speaking of golf. I bought that Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports game.
I
haven't played it yet. There's key stores. You can buy codes from websites online that are like somewhat shady. I bought a code for that game for $18 today. I was like, Black Friday came early, but I can't wait to play it. It's $50, $60, full price game. Mm-hmm.
Is like it's like a full. It has all the sports in it. So it's like a Mario.
It's got basketball, tennis, golf, soccer. Something maybe volleyball or something. It's like a Mario sports game.
It was it's everything in there.
But we'll see. Cool. We'll see how it is.
Graphically, it looks really cool.
I'm excited to play it.
The Looney Tunes cartoons.
No, Donnie,
I do have notes about Zelda.
I was very relieved when I saw your tweets from the Shaq account with a positive outlook on the game.
So I'm likely behind the rest of the world. As I mentioned, my whole week sucked, so I didn't really start playing it until Monday. All right, I have notes. Let me just look at them.
Yeah.
Okay. There is like an abrupt resistance when I first picked up a controller and started playing this game. It's inconvenient to play as a Zelda game. Like, I have 30 years of conditioning to when I play a Zelda game, I get a little sword and I get to go swipe the grass and I get to go, and like when I was going around when I first started, like it's all I wanted to do was spam the fucking X button and use a shield. And I'm like, God, I don't know about this. And then the mechanic, right? Like the inventory management and the echoes is cumbersome and like delayed. It's slow. It's not.
That is true.
You don't have that tactile instant feedback that you do in a Zelda game. I was like, so this is different. And I think my first hour or so, I think maybe you guys are right. I think you're echoing a lot of what I was like, I don't know about this. Because like it's just very different, right? It's not that. I think the items and the echoes, they desperately need like groupings, different filters that instead of like, we need to be able to go into groups and then like go up and down versus like this 100 tile left and right thing.
I agree.
Like we should group them by like enemies, elements, furniture.
It should be groups like that. And then I think it would even be nicer to have them equipable like items and like maybe have 3 of them equipped at one time kind of thing.
I was thinking, like how in like Minecraft and Fortnite, you have like recently used stuff kind of like at the bottom and you can kind of pin stuff to like, I was thinking this game could use something like that
Stardew
in a major way. Yeah.
That could work.
One of the things that I want to say about it, and this is just kind of like a wish, I don't mind that it's not there, but because of that missing like that tactileness of the combat, mechanic especially, I kind of wish there were like breakable weapons in the overworld, like especially like in the Bokoblin bases, like in Breath of the Wild, where like you'll just come across like a spear or something just sitting there.
And maybe
like
you could use it.
That you could use like 2 or 3 times and it would break, so you weren't constantly having to manage like the level, like the sword fighter energy gauge.
Yeah,
I think something like that would be cool, and it would be very like Zelda-like to do.
I don't know how far you are, but after a certain point, it feels like the sword fighter mode can last a really long time.
Okay, well, I'm about to get there.
Okay.
So I kept playing, and the more I play it, and the more the game opens up to me, the more I'm like, kind of dig it.
Yay!
Getting used to it. Like, I did get used to the controls and the mechanic. I got used to it, where I'm doing it second nature. And as the world opened up, and I got more to explore and more to do and more to find, that Breath of the Wild rewarding progression loop discovery, the discoverability that I love, like that addictive feeling of, oh, there's that thing over there, I want to go over. Like, I feel a constant urge to like want to look into the distance. Like, I want to see beyond the field of view that I'm allowed to see, because I just want to see everything and go everywhere. So I did the initial whatever thing, the intro, and then you're presented like 2 options. You can like go over here, go over there. I went to the Zoras and did the whole Zora quest and everything, which I loved.
I ran a poll on Twitter because I was very curious who, did what first, and the vast majority of people went to the Gerudo first.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't
Zora
know that.
was a big minority.
Once I saw the Zora like was an option from the trailers, like I love this whole river sea Zora, conflict. I just really exciting to go. Like, I wanted to go see those people and do that. But once I was done with that, and I did the dungeon and I did the Jabu Belly and I did all that, instead of just running to Gerudo and going to the next waypoint, I just started walking around.
That's what I did. I did Gerudo first, and I explored a lot before going to those.
I've opened the whole map. I've opened all of my warp points. I found secret caves. I've got 8 or 9 hearts. I've yet to complete the Gerudo thing yet. I've got 8 or 9 hearts now. I've upgraded my sword. I've upgraded my gauge twice. Nice. I've got mighty things. I'm learning how to spam amiibo. I've learned how to launch beds. Like, all of this discoverability, like the viralness that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have, this game has it. And the more I learn about that and how to use these different echoes together, either to cheese it or to get somewhere else I couldn't get, like that whole like, but can I break the game? Can I beat the shrine in a way that it's not expecting me to? Like that, I find that addictive, and this game has it, which I'm really enjoying. So yesterday I started playing. I got home from work, started playing probably around 8 or 9, and I'm sitting there and I'm running around getting my heart pieces. I'm making smoothies. I'm getting materials. I've got the gauntlet. I've got the flippers. I've got all the items that I can find. I've upgraded my fairy stuff 4 or 5. I can equip all the things, and I'm min-maxing. Like, these are the same.
And
like
you're only 3 dungeons in.
It's
Not
the
even.
battery. It's the battery grind from Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. It's the shrine grind. Like that whole min-maxing. Like, let me go prepare myself for this. I'm just sitting there doing it, and then I look up. And it's 2:00 in the morning, and I've played this game for like 5 hours straight, and I've lost all sense of time and place. And I'm just like, oh, I kind of love it though. It's not perfect, and the performance is dreadful, but I'm adapting to it. I'm getting used to it. I'm acclimating to it. Like, I know when to expect it, when not to. It is a shame though, because it kind of has like this rubber banding, like snap into place effect, where like the frame rate takes like a dive, and it's like, and then
I must have the worst perception of that, because I have not noticed that at all. Like,
I noticed as soon as I started it. Like, as soon as it's in the overworld. When you're in the dungeons and stuff, it's not too bad. It's in the overworld. When you're in the overworld, like like Zelda can spin. You can spin and cut grass. So as soon as I found that out, I just started spinning everywhere. And as soon as I start doing it, the whole thing just starts falling apart. Like, the frame rate dips in half. It's just like, but then it like kind of snaps back in. And when it snaps back in, when this game is running at 60, it's really nice. Like it's like with the art style and the camera perspective, it's like I have a little Lego, like a little Zelda playset, like a little toy playset, and I'm like can do whatever I want with all these things.
I think the controls feel much nicer than the Link's Awakening controls.
The whole game, by the way, is just way better than Link's Awakening. And I'm sorry for folks that don't want to hear that, but like, I never played the original Link's Awakening. I'm only going off of the remake. This game blows Link's Awakening remake out of the
Link's
water.
Awakening is fine. It's just it's one of the most bland Zelda games in terms of plot and mechanics.
I'm only 4 or 5 hours in, maybe 5 or 6, 7. And I'm already like, oh, this is way better than that. Like, I'm already like, I already love this infinitely more than I ever did that game.
So you started the Gerudo stuff, but you haven't finished that dungeon?
So I did all that stuff, and then right before I went to bed, I started the Gerudo stuff. So I think I stopped right as I was about to enter the temple. I was like, I'll just stop here, and then the next time I sit down to play, I'll do the whole temple, and we'll just keep going.
Well, Donnie, I have to say, and Delvin, I don't know how much further you got, but do you want to talk about how much more you've played since Sunday?
I didn't get too much further than that. I was trying to beat this game that Donnie hates, the casting of Frank Stone.
We'll talk about that after.
Stone.
We'll talk about that after. Yeah. Donnie, the story, the plot, the lore implications of the entire Zelda, like everything, it really picks up a lot. Like there are massive lore drops in this, some that make me jaw drop. Like you're gonna be like, what the heck, after a couple dungeons.
One of my favorite things about the game so far is the world building and like the Zelda isms that are everywhere. Like I just feel so at home. Like there's so many Ocarina and Skyward Sword and Link's Awakening and all of it, like Link Between Worlds. There's so many little things that I see, little symbols, icons, visiting Link's house, seeing this little cap, like just the little, I'm just like, oh, this is maybe more than any other Zelda game. Like it just feels like a compilation Zelda game. It's like everything's here. It's all in this little thing. And I mean, ultimately, I think, and I feel like I'm reviewing the game and I've not even got in that far in, but already I feel like this is the most original Zelda game since Breath of the Wild and one of the most original Zelda games ever. Yeah. And it has so much more to do with it beyond Zelda versus Link. And that I don't think I was expecting. I was expecting it to be different because of Zelda, but it's like different for a lot more than just that.
People, look at the mechanic of Zelda making echoes and summoning things, and it's, they write it off as, well, this is a very passive way of fighting. I'm not really into that. I'm not going to try it. But when I'm playing it, it doesn't feel passive at all. Like I know it is.
You got to get experimental with it.
Yeah.
That's the fun part and it's like, it's not as cumbersome as Tears of the Kingdom, where I'm literally trying to super glue all this shit together to figure out how to make it fly or whatever.
Simpler than that.
That I didn't like so much, as we've talked about it over and over again. I wasn't super into that. So I like simple things that I can build quickly. This is kind of that. It like, no, you just get, and it's not a mechanic we've never seen before. It's very Kirby. It's very Mario Odyssey. Like the whole idea that you're going to use the enemies against them, right? It's just done here in a Zelda way. But yeah, like I'm getting to the point where I'm quickly spamming and mapping several things at once. Like I love the crows. I love all the fire enemies. Like you face somebody that shoots something at you. It's like throw a boulder down. Now they can't shoot you anymore. I fought this Wizrobe guy last night where I just kept blocking all of his attack. I was like, you can't even hurt me. Like you have no power here. You're powerless. Trap them. You can trap people between beds and boxes and just hit them from afar. It's very creative in that way. Yeah.
Have you seen some of the clips of some people posting? Japanese Twitter is going nuts with some of these things that you can do, like they're sending like a little tornado under a bed to launch.
So I'm doing that all the time. I'm doing that constantly. You can get really high really quickly by throwing a tornado on the bed and just yeeting yourself into the stratosphere. Also, you can like hold a bird. You can throw a bird and attach to it, and then hold the roast, and the bird will fly towards the roast trying to eat it, and you can just fly. So I'm literally just like flying around, just like I can fly wherever I want. It's stuff like that, like those. That's that's this. There's a Breath of the Wild DNA here. If you learn the rules that you can exploit.
Me and Delvin were talking about that, about how there really is that Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom DNA baked into it. You know, I'm a little bit ahead of Josh, who's playing, and then he's streaming it. So I'm kind of watching him go through all the stuff that I've already been through. And like the way that he approaches dungeons and puzzles and things is so different than how I even thought to do it. And I'm sure there's a dozen other ways to approach it. You know,
I wonder.
It's so interesting to see how everybody else is doing it.
Going back to that breakable weapons idea, I wonder if you had just a little bit more agency to do something like that, if that would appease some others. Because I've seen some folks that they don't really like the game. They find it cumbersome, complicated, not seem like very rewarding. And honestly, I feel like I couldn't be more opposite than that take. But I also feel like you might need to play this game for 3 or 4 hours before you really see it. Like you got to get out there and get open up and start seeing and getting things, you know, like getting items, being able to swim faster, swim deeper, climb things, like go find stuff, like quit going to the waypoint and doing the mission. Stop doing that. Go get lost, go find stuff, go talk to people, go figure stuff out, go do side quests. I found a cave where I had to blow up a wall, like an OG legend. I was like, oh shit. Finding the stamps. I'm collecting all the stamps. I found a stamp that was way off somewhere that I was like, how is anybody even going to find this place? and I found one.
It does reward you pretty well for going out of your way. You know, you get a lot of rupees, or like, you know, you get some pretty good
game breaking. You can walk on the trees.
Yeah.
That's why I keep launching myself up into the sky, because you can walk on the trees, on the walls.
I'm like, I can't figure out how to get through this. I'm just going to jump over the trees.
It's like you have to retrain your brain. It's like, this isn't an old 2D Zelda game. That isn't a wall. It's not a barrier. You can go right over it if you want to. I'm digging the hell out of that.
What do you think of the dungeons? You've done 2 of them so far. We're back to traditional dungeons.
It's traditional.
These are the first brand new traditional style dungeons since 2013.
Yeah, I mean, it's traditional. It feels traditional. It feels at home. The maps are wild. Like these wireframes, it's very... like they have all these different sections that are just like connected by lines to each other. It's like, okay, so this isn't really like a map. You just have a collection of levels that you've connected. One thing I didn't talk about. I adore the 2D section of this fucking game.
There's a lot of them.
Absolutely adore it.
You mean the scrolling parts?
I talked about this years ago. I think maybe years ago, like Jason years ago, Shaq, where I was like, I wish they would do like a 2D Zelda game, like a Mario Zelda game. And of course everybody goes, well, that's Link's 2. And it's like, yeah, but like Mario though, like, but good. And that's this.
But good.
Like this is that. It feels like you're playing a Mario game, but you still have your echoes. You still have all your stuff. It's just in a 2D plane. It's super fun. And they're like these little, you know what it reminds me of, Rebecca? It's this game's version of Shrines.
Yeah. And you know, I think about how there's a lot of echoes in the game, and they had to essentially rework every single echo to work on the 2D, you know, side-scrolling platform as well as the top-down sections, because a lot of them operate differently. You know, instead of moving, like they just work in different ways.
Yeah.
And the amount of care and time that I think must have gone into that, like, that's crazy.
The rifts, when you get into the rifts and you start doing that platforming, that's really fun and rewarding because it's not hard, but it is tricky and acute. They don't give you a lot of room. Like, hey, you need to balance yourself off the side of this damn tree and hop sideways.
And the land is vertical.
The land is vertical, or you gotta like swim up and then jump out and go like, I'm like, this is awesome. Like I'm liking that a lot. That and the 2D stuff, like when you in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you have these shrines and they're like these mini puzzles that change the pace of the game. That's what the 2D section of this game feels like. It's like, now you get to do this for 5 minutes and then you get to go back and do something else. And I'm like, it's better than I thought it was. Like it's really good. I'm digging it. I'm digging a lot.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm loving the dungeons. I think the dungeons are great. Every boss fight, there has not been a single bad boss fight so far. Like everyone, I've been like, whoa.
I agree.
You know,
with you.
and I feel like a lot of Zelda bosses kind of suffer from you hit the eyeball and then you slash them and then you repeat that 2 more times, you know, and none of them are like that at all, you know, and I really have to think about how I'm going to use the echoes and, you know, sure, we're not getting a key item in each dungeon, but I feel like you're getting a key echo in each dungeon. Like
For
the
sure.
Zora one had the water blocks, which I use all the time, by the way. That's more OP than the beds. Everyone's using beds.
So beds are iconic.
Get with the program. It's the water blocks, folks.
It's the bed. It's the bed. I was doing the water block too, and then I started learning how to fucking launch myself, and I'm like, nope, never mind. Just boom.
You can use the water blocks to skip the entire Zora dungeon, by the way.
Wow. Did you guys see my icon? So there are Echoes of Wisdom icons up on NSO, and one of them is just the bed.
The bed.
And I changed my whole profile icon to just this bed.
The bed.
I respect it. I respect it.
Delvin, you've been quiet, man.
No, I'm listening to this because look, this is why it's good to have you here, Donnie, and this is why it's good to have you back because you don't get this much detailed analysis about a game like this from nowhere else except you.
Oh, I'm sure there's.
It's
yeah,
true.
There's
You're really good at
No.
You're really, really good at putting together your thoughts.
Yes. So sometimes when you are cooking, just let you cook, let you do your thing.
Are you spamming Amiibo? Because you need to. You need to spam Amiibo the shit out of Amiibo. I keep changing the date because you can only span 3 a day. I just go in and change the date, scan 3 more. Because like
you get mostly ingredients, right?
You do get ingredients, tons of them, but you get golden eggs.
Oh,
they usually come in pairs of 2s.
I'm scared.
And those are worth
Donnie,
those are worth 150 a pop.
I haven't used any of my gold eggs yet because I have this really bad thing in video games when you get a really good consumable item, I don't use them.
I've already had like 10, and that's not just from Amiibo. I think I found 4 or 5 in the world. Like they're out there, but you got to use them. That's the whole point of them, is to put them in the smoothies, make super smoothies.
Okay.
I got smoothies that give me like 20 hearts, and I don't take damage for 10 minutes.
I don't
like it's fucking insane.
I've died a few times.
I've done a couple.
That doesn't happen to me in 2D Zelda games.
I can't say really. I've made like 50 smoothie. The smoothie thing is super fun. Again, the Breath of the Wild isms, like they're all here.
I like that it's a little more simple. Like I got a little overwhelmed with the like number of ingredients and combinations. Like you can mix 5 things. Like that's overwhelming.
You just kind of realize that it really doesn't matter. The item doesn't matter as much as the type. It's like you need 2 of this thing, 2 of this category, and 3 of that type, and it does this. And there's hundreds of different combinations of items for that, but as long as the types are the same, that's really all that matters. But I do agree with you. The smoothies are simpler. It's simpler and easier to do. And if anybody out there, I'll throw one out there. It's milk and
mango.
Mango's good.
Tough mango.
No, milk and salt. I think it's salt. The hard rock salt.
Rock salt and tough mango. And
if you do the rock salt and the milk, you get a full restoration on your sword energy, and you get like 12 or 15 hearts. And it's how much milk in rock salt do you have? Like everybody has 50 of each of these, so it's very easy to do.
I think for the salt and rock salt and tough mango, I think you get your energy filled and you get like toughness. Like you don't get hurt a lot
mango
for, like,
is
3 minutes.
The mango is the bananas from Breath of that's the mango.
The stamp guy is stupid. I hate him.
He reminds me of the
people were saying the postman. And
I was gonna say who's the guy that him. That's who reminds me of me. Yeah.
He's pointless. I think he's stupid.
I enjoy collecting the stamps because some of these things are
Can I say something about the amiibo? Is when because both of y'all are still at the point where Zelda is in her disguise. She can't take her hood off yet.
I've seen the costumes.
But there are costumes, and you'll reach a certain point in the game where you can start collecting more costumes. And the first time you scan amiibo after that's unlocked is you get costumes for your amiibo scans. But like at that turning point, kind of some things in the overworld change, and like you'll want to go back and revisit areas that you've been to before because you can
Nice.
like get outfits and like other things. You'll
Delvin,
know. You'll know.
There's Catwoman Zelda.
Let's go, baby.
There's a
I'm here for
a
it.
cat suit.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Yeah, I love the dungeons. The lore drops are like insane. You're gonna be like, "What in the world?" It's crazy.
It is a bit
Cool
chatty.
characters. Some cool characters.
It's a bit chatty. I'll say that. It's a bit
Yeah.
like, and like a lot of the animations are reused, so there's some that I'm like, okay, I've already reached a point where I'm like, I get it. Some of them you can skip. Like, thank God you can skip that smoothie one. You don't have to sit there and go through the whole thing. You can skip once you pick your ingredients. Like, thank goodness for that. The musical element with the Zoras was so awesome. I recorded all of that and took so many screenshots. It
I
was
didn't.
beautiful.
Okay, listen. I did not want to say too much about the Zora because Delvin has not done it yet.
That's fine.
I did
I'm
not.
not going to get into it, but there's a musical element and like everything glows. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, that was pretty, but I will say that I was expecting a certain thing from the Zora story based on the trailer, and it was not what I thought it was going to be, and I'm disappointed that it's not what I thought it was going to be. I will say what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was like going to be a Romeo and Juliet story where like we know that the Zora, River Zora and the Sea Zora don't get along. And so in the trailer, it kind of looks like they're fighting and then there's like two younger ones behind them. I thought those two younger ones were like going to be in love and like wanting to be with each other.
Unite everybody.
Yeah. So like it was a little different. I thought it was, a little bit, what's the word? Like, I don't know. It wasn't that good.
I just love going back like
Underwhelming.
to the Zora's domain, getting all those ocarina feelings again. Seeing all the stuff like rip off the walls and hear the music and all, and then get to the river Zora's and see all
I was looking
that
for the word
stuff.
sanitized. Like it was like a very like
It's
easy
pretty basic
story to tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so far, I just did a dungeon up in the icy Hebra Mountains, and it was really tough, and it was really good.
I carried my Switch to work with me today, and my Amiibo, which I haven't done in years. Like I was
That's
like,
awesome.
I bring my Amiibo with me, and we get those scans in on my lunch break for sure.
All right,
Like
we'll start doing more dungeons.
And it killed off everything.
game.
Like Plucky Squire immediately on the back burner, Astrobot on the back, like everything just
Same. I
You're all
haven't beat
done.
either of those yet.
Yeah, you're all off until I'm done with this. I'm not playing anything but this until this is done.
By the time you beat this, Life is Strange Double Exposure is going to be
I
out.
told you, I'm probably going to wait on that one.
I'm going to talk about it.
Like I'm going to have access. Like
Well,
Rebecca, Haley's buying it, and we game share, so I could play it for free. But I just want to play other things first.
All right, well, that will be the week that we kick you off. Me, Delvin, and Haley will talk about it.
That's fine with me.
There you go.
I'm very much looking forward to it. It's just so little time.
I get
Right?
it.
Yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. Same thing. Like even when after we did Decade of Horror, I've been wanting to watch stuff and trying to catch up on certain things.
We did that, and I had to prepare for that too. So that also took the time away from.
Yeah.
Delvin, what's this stone? What did you do?
Oh, the Castle
Frank
of
Stone. Nobody cares.
I care. I want to hear. What is this?
That's the
Oh my
It's
god, not
the game
again.
that's,
We're gonna do this again. It's like haunting me at this point.
Yes. It's the
It's like-
supermassive game that's based off of what's the franchise called?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight.
Oh.
I finished it. It's okay. Boy, did they get really
Why is
heavy-handed.
Donnie laughing?
All right, Rebecca, have you played Dead by Daylight?
Yes.
It's a horror game. It has all the horror icons. It's got
Yeah.
Jason, it's got Saul, it's got Chucky, right? And there's like generic campers that you run around and get killed by all these people. This game is a story game, a narrative-focused game about the generic campers.
Oh.
Yes and no.
None of the evil villains are in it.
Oh.
It's
No,
just
they're
the
not.
kids.
They have their own evil villain.
That's why I keep
Who's
making the
called
joke,
Frank
who
Stone.
the fuck is Frank? Nobody knows who Frank Stone is.
Stone.
Well, this is the thing. Now that I've beat it, I can tell you what I know about it.
Like when they were like, we're making a single player Dead by Daylight game, I was like, fuck, let's go. And it's like, it's about all the campers. I was like, what?
It's,
Well,
Why?
I didn't have the
It's-
licenses for anything.
it's a little different than that. What it is essentially, now that I can tell you completely what it's about. it's going to lead into some more Dead by Daylight content. It's these characters in this world that's connected to the Dead by Daylight world. And what happens is, if you know about, I think it's called the Void. I think that's the thing that's over the Dead by Daylight people where they can't get out of the void and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. This whole story is kind of a prequel story that leads to these characters getting to the void and Frank Stone also.
So this game leads you into wanting to play Dead by Daylight?
It's called what?
It's called The Casting of Frank Stone.
I think they could have come up with a better name.
Yeah.
So this game prepares you to want to play Dead by Daylight, the multiplayer game?
Yes. What it is,
you played something like that called Hive Busters, you had a lot of concerns.
yes.
Everybody has already played Dead by
doing
Daylight.
is,
nobody else needs
this
to be
is the thing.
convinced.
What this game is, I can spoil because nobody gives a fuck. It's essentially
Nobody
a
does.
prequel. It's a prequel to some Dead by Daylight content they're gonna put into the next season.
Oh.
Also, all the characters that's in this game are gonna be in the next season of Dead by Daylight.
They made a whole game to be like a Fortnite trailer. Here's season
That's what they
23,
want to
Dead by
do.
Daylight.
That's probably
And
what they want to do.
I will say this: the game is okay. It's a typical. It's not in the upper tier of the Supermassive games. I would probably say it's in the lower tier of Supermassive games. It's not as fun, but I will say this: because it's Dead by Daylight, the endings are dark. Like there is
The coffee
happy
table
ending.
dark?
Nah, not that dark. Donnie's a sick fuck, Rebecca. He is a sick man. He got me to watch this fucking movie that I can't even describe on the show because we may go to jail.
Correct. This is one of the darkest movies I've ever seen, and it's awesome. It's amazing.
Yes.
Coffee
I watched
table?
It's called The Coffee Table. You and Josh should
Rebecca,
watch
don't
it.
watch it.
No.
Watch
Don't
it.
watch it, Rebecca.
Watch it. Rebecca, it's not super gory.
I don't
That's
like
not why it's
gory.
bad. It's not gory. It's not. That's not why it's bad. It's not gory. It just goes places morality-wise that you are not ready for.
Rebecca's gonna watch
I don't
this
like
movie
that.
and quit.
I love it. It's
Rebecca's
great.
gonna watch
Which is
this movie.
bad.
Donnie,
Quick
I
chat.
keep thinking about the pig named Violet that I met at the Grange Fair like a month ago that I was told was going to go be slaughtered, and I
Yeah,
brought
listen,
him up.
bacon.
I brought her up at dinner yesterday.
Yeah, don't watch the movie then.
Yes, don't. I knew that. Do not watch this movie. Absolutely not watch it. No.
I think about
It
Violet
is-
at least once a week.
It is one of the more
What-
challenging movies I've ever watched. It's so tense.
Yes.
Like
Coffee.
so.
Don't even
tense.
Google it.
I'm good.
It's
Can I at least
disturbing.
Wikipedia it?
No.
I mean, you can. You're gonna ruin it for yourself. You're
I'm
gonna
not
miss all the
She's
gonna
not
good
gonna
parts.
watch it, but no.
You should though, because it's awesome.
No, you should not.
Wait, I went
Jordan
to a
says, "I
furniture-
swear, if she watches the coffee table before John."
I went to a furniture store in hopes of buying a coffee table one time.
Rebecca, don't keep reading this. Don't keep reading it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Do not
Abort.
keep reading this.
Abort.
I'm giving
Oh,
you
abort's a
warning.
bad name.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
that's
Yeah.
a bad word.
Yeah. In this case, yeah. Very bad context.
I try. Listen,
Oh.
Rebecca, on Decade of Horror, I warned everyone.
He did.
I was like, "This is in a disturbing movie. You should only watch it if you are depraved and have seen 10,000 horror movies like I have.
Yes.
But if you have and you're looking for something, this is something."
It's different.
I loved it. I honestly loved it. I haven't felt that tense feeling, that edge of your seat. Like, where are they possibly going to do next? I haven't felt that watching a movie in years, decades.
Yeah, you're correct. You are correct.
No, it was so good.
It's not gory. It's unnerving.
not.
It's
No, it's not
uncomfortable.
good. It's uncomfortable. It just challenges you. It's like it's like Squid Game, Black Mirror, and stuff like that. It's kind of more like that,
Yeah, I can say that.
but way worse. It makes those look tame, though.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh,
But yeah,
All right.
I
You
watched
like
the
Frank
Prey
Stone?
movie. Yeah, Frank Stone was okay. I watched 2 episodes of the Vince documentary. Vince McMahon.
I watched 3 of them, and I don't even know if I'm going to finish it because so far it's rather boring.
There it is.
It kind of is. It kind of is. They say it picks up in
What?
episode 4.
I can't think something boring without being
I don't even know if I'm
stereotypical
going
of
to finish
myself.
it. That's the quote. I don't even know if I'm going to finish it.
Because if you're a wrestling fan, everything they've shown so far, we know
Yeah.
and have
Oh,
known.
I didn't even know.
forever.
Lad piece
I
of
didn't
shit.
know. Okay.
Yeah, I've been saying that on
Donnie
PSVG
quote. That's just the Donnie quote.
airwaves for a decade. You know,
I think there are some funny parts of it, some funny things that happen, like Bret Hart explaining knocking out Vince McMahon is funny.
again, if you've ever watched the damn Wrestling with Shadow, the stuff I've known for 20 years.
We saw it. Yeah.
This documentary was made for people that have no idea what wrestling is about
Yes,
and want to
it
know
was.
about it. It's made for somebody like Rebecca, who sees the Vince McMahon stuff and wants to know what the news is. But if you know what's
Yes.
going on,
I don't.
you know this isn't nothing. It's
I don't
nothing.
want to
But
know.
It's a little jarring to see him just like, oh yeah, this is what I did. Yeah, this is what I was like. All right. All those stories were true then. Like, all right, yeah, okay.
yeah, pretty much. Like, but did you not believe him? I believed him.
I believe most of
I
them.
believed all those stories. Vince is that dude. What did I tell you when all that stuff was coming up? People are like, I can't believe it. I was like, I totally can believe it. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, the man is a billionaire who has cheated on his wife for decades with the hottest models the world has ever seen. That man has tastes that are way out there to get off, I'm sure. You know, like
Very much so.
yeah. What do you do if you're a billionaire hyped up on steroids, running around with 20-year-old models like that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the stuff he's into is really depraved. Not surprised.
And your company's like at its height. where
Yeah.
everybody just wants to be a part of it.
Yeah, you have endless amounts of money. Paying somebody off $100 million, that's a nothing. Fine. You know.
Yeah. He's a individual.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, Rebecca, you got anything you want to talk about before we get to this news?
I just like Zelda, and I am going to replay it after I beat it, just to see how much I can break it.
It's so good. Like I
can't wait to see the speed
God, I
runs.
want to switch too, damn it. I want to play it in its perfect, like in its glory. It's just like, damn, why can't we have another system? But it's
We'll
okay.
get it
It's still
soon.
very good. The performance doesn't bother me as much as Calamity, and I beat Calamity. Right. So it's not that bad. It's okay. And it's honestly, if they just capped it at 30, I think it'd be fine. The problem is that it's not capped. The problem is that it goes from like 25 to 60 and back. That's the problem. It's the fluctuation. If you just made it 30 and get everybody adjust to 30, it'd be great.
Just simply don't care about it.
That you can't. I'm glad that you can hold this line and say you don't see it. But
I
when you do
love
see it,
being blissfully ignorant.
but when
I
you
love
do
it.
see it, you can't not unsee. You
Love
can't
it.
unsee. I wish I could go back. I wish I could, but I
Yeah.
can't.
Hanging
I'm
around
really
down
shocked
there,
that you
damn.
can't because it's readily available.
People
It's
have
all-
talked about how atrocious it
I mean,
is,
it's
and I
pretty
have
bad.
tried to look and
And I will tell
really
you,
notice it, and I
the
really
reason-
don't.
it's not the worst. I mean, I've played thousands of things that are worse, so it's not awful. I don't think it's bad. It's bad for a Zelda game. That's the problem. The problem is that Zelda games should run better than this. This is the best that they have. It's their first party. Like, if there was ever a game for it not to do this, it's this one, and it's doing it. And I think that's the problem.
Jordan said it's literally making people sick.
Yeah,
What?
I can see it.
Fuck.
I can see it.
Sick?
I can see it
What?
not like sick, but like if it make you feel like somewhat nauseous, I can see that. You don't understand how stuff like that plays with people with like vision issues. Like if you have astigmatism or something, it can give you a headache trying to stare at something like that.
Yeah, it can.
That's
I've
a real
experienced
thing.
that before.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
I've
like
experienced
the-
that only like in VR.
Or as I say, there's a lot of people that feel that way about playing first person shooters, playing in first person, like Dying Light. Dying Light does that to a lot of people. You know, because they're not ready for like the vertigo and you see you jumping and moving all that from the first person's perspective, makes people feel sick.
There was I can't remember the name of the game. There was a game that came out a couple of years ago that fucked me up like that really bad. Like it had me like sick and I couldn't even play it no more.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I get sick from first-person games
Yeah, I think this is
because
very
of
similar.
the
it
movement
really
of it.
happens to me. But that
Mirror's
game-
Edge would do that to people.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's get into the news. We have a bunch, and I loaded it up with Nintendo stuff, especially when Dev quit. So, the internet is big mad at Nintendo, and I'm probably about to hop on a soapbox here because I was jumping in the Discord earlier, arguing with what's his name? Now I'm gonna feel bad, I don't
TPR.
remember.
Let it be TPR.
No, Tiger Shark, like Tiger Penny, Tiger Shark, Tiger. What is his damn name?
I want to just
Tiger Shark RGH Half Penny. Jesus.
Okay.
I was arguing with him. All right, so here, internet's bad at Nintendo. Here's why. Developer whatever. Some developer, the developer that makes Ryujinx, how do you spell the emulator?
Ryujinx.
Ryujinx, which is a Nintendo Switch emulator like Yuzu. The developer was contacted by Nintendo, and let me read the quote.
Wait, okay, contacted. Let me tell you, they knocked on his door in Brazil.
Okay, let me read the quote. This is the quote. This was the quote that was shared on their Discord. Yesterday, GD Chan was contacted by Nintendo and offered an agreement to stop working on the project, remove the organization, all related assets he's in control of. And the next day he did just that. It's all been shut down and it's been wiped and GitHub is gone and people are mad because Nintendo just shook this guy down.
I respect it. That's gangster as fuck.
It's very gangster.
I respect the shit out of it.
Can I say something?
Do it.
They would
No,
not
you have
like
food in your mouth.
I know. Well, listen. They go a long time without shutting these people down. But Echoes of Wisdom leaked and was being downloaded.
Let me read the rest. We'll get into that.
Okay.
Let me finish. So people are mad. And when I say people, I don't know like the internet because I'm not on Twitter. I'm specifically speaking about Jeff Grubb, who I'm counting as people. Jeff Grubb is super pissed. I was listening to the podcast last night and he was like, this is fucking outrageous. Nintendo needs to quit being bullies and they just need to be chill and be good about it, right? So then I wake up in the Discord this morning and Halfpenny and Garrett are in there and they're talking about how this is lame and then this will stop. Halfpenny, and look, Halfpenny, I'm using you as an example. We talked it out and we found common ground. But he called Nintendo the biggest menace in the video game industry.
Not when Bobby Kotick exists.
I was like, how could you possibly say something like that's impossible to defend? Anyway, so they shut down Ryujinx. Then last week, Retro Game Court, which is a YouTuber that I adore, I watch his channel all the time. He talked about how he got a second copyright strike from Nintendo. And if you guys don't know who his channel, Retro Game Court, he does all the channel, like all the Chinese handhelds that you can buy. All the Ambernick, everything, and he shows you how to set up emulators and do stuff. And yeah, in his channel, he shows you running Super Nintendo games and 64 games, GameCube games. And one video he did, he was like, "Let me show you how to do Wii U on your Aya Neo," and Nintendo copyright striked it. And he did this whole message about how he's being targeted and he has to change his business now because Nintendo doesn't like that. And all of this
being targeted.
All of this comes after Pal World, Nintendo suing Pal World and shutting down Yuzu. So now the cool gamer kid is angry at Nintendo, and I get it. I want to get on my soapbox for a minute because I get it. It's not cool. Like everybody wants to be, Lebowski. Like, just be cool, bro. Be chill about it. Like, quit. It's a damn corporation. There is an entitlement that comes from emulation and ROMs that really does start to piss me off. I have said this for years. I'm very pro emulation. Always have been. Right? Do crimes.
I think we are the biggest pro emulation podcast.
Yeah, like I'm all for it. But to Rebecca's point, what you were saying earlier, when you're out here playing Echoes of Wisdom 2 weeks before the game comes out,
advantage of it for
that's
sure.
And you're making videos about it, and and when you're making products, when you have companies making handhelds that are being sold specifically to play Nintendo games. I understand that people are like, you can play God of War and play. Nobody's fucking playing Gran Turismo on these things. What it is about? It's about Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda. This is their livelihood. Yeah. I think if everybody were to change shoes and be in their shoes, they would think the same way. People act like they're like, well, and I'm one of them. I wish Nintendo did a better job of providing us support and stuff. And that's why, like when a system is out of date, go get your ROMs. Like Nintendo is not shutting down Game Boy emulator. They're not shutting down 3DS Boy and shit. Like they're shutting down you trying to pirate and steal games they're currently selling. Stop doing that.
Not even games before they're already out. Like I feel like people like this is why we can't have nice things because
they hide behind
of it. They ruined it for everybody else.
They hide behind preservation. It's not about preservation. It's about
not.
piracy. It's about piracy. Quit lying to yourself. If it was about preservation, everybody would have all these collections, and you don't. And what was that Game Boy? What was that emulator that came out on iPhone that day? What is that called? Delta?
Delta, yeah. I like
When Delta hit, everybody it went viral on Twitter. Everybody's playing Pokemon on their phone. It's not about preservation. It's about piracy. Okay, you can't
listen to me. I will download and play Pokemon Emerald on my phone every day of the week, but you will not catch me downloading Pokemon Legends ZA on my emulated, Nintendo Switch 2 weeks before it releases.
So I'm going to be the zag to the internet, because right now I did see a couple articles today when I was doing the notes. There's a lot of people that are angry. They're like, man, I just wish Nintendo would be cool about it. They can't.
They have been. They've been pretty cool about it.
They're not Ubisoft. They're not PlayStation, Xbox. They don't discount their games into the bargain bin immediately. Like, this is their livelihood. This is how the people are like, it's old games. Those old games have value for Nintendo. They just put out F-Zero. Like, when they put a Pokemon game in NSO, people lose their fucking minds. It can be 30 years old, and if it's a Nintendo game, it has value. That's the reason those cartridges that you're wanting to pirate, that's why they're $400. Nobody's paying $400 for Gran Turismo 2 on PS1. Yeah. There's a reason. And I just want people to just and I say people again, Jeff Grubb, if you're listening, buddy, hey, love you. But own up to that. Own that. Just say, you know what? It's there's an entitlement that I want to be able to play any game I want on any hardware I want. And it's no, you don't. If it's about preservation, guess what? Go buy the fucking cartridge in the system and play it.
I think Nintendo did not care for a very long time about Ryuji NX until people were flaunting that they were downloading the game early.
And how do you
making videos and how do you defend that?
How do you expect them not to?
Quietly do it after the game releases and nobody will bat an eye.
If Ryuji NX and Yuzu came out 5 years after the Switch nobody would care.
Yeah.
Nobody would even care if you quietly did it after release.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Dolphin. Nobody cares about Dolphin.
People got to learn. If you're going to do blatantly illegal shit, shut the fuck up about it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Go and tell everybody.
Be quiet about it. Quit fucking dancing around, quit chasing clout about it. That's why they're getting in trouble.
That's why people won't have a Switch emulator for actually doing things that they want to do and not pirating games early.
That's where I was going, XBS, 100%. XBS says, since Switch 2 will likely be backwards compatible, no need for Switch emulation 2. That's the reason why Nintendo's cracking down on this. Because they're about to release another system that's going to be doing the same thing, and they don't want this to keep going. Yeah. And if you think Nintendo sucks for that, I just can't disagree with you more. What do you expect them to do?
No, I agree with that. Spartion, first time chatter, if Nintendo isn't selling a game or system, then I'm not crying for them. We agree with you. We 100% agree about that.
Yeah. I got a hack 3DS, love it.
We love our hack 3DS. I'm not.
But wait for the store to close.
Yeah.
Or wait for the store to close before you rip off all the games.
I don't even care if you do it while it's active. Don't be doing it before it releases and spoiling things for everybody else.
And it's Todd. Hey, what's up, Todd? And for Retro Game Core, again, who I love his channel, I've watched literally hundreds of his videos. He's like, I don't understand why Nintendo copyrighted this. When you dude, your thumbnail has how to play Zelda on your other thing. What are you expecting, man? I'm being targeted.
Yeah, you are.
It's guess what? You know why? Because you're fucking targeting them.
Yeah. You're doing an actual
You're
crime.
Targeting their customers. In 4K on black. I don't know. It's I'm almost in this disbelief. It's almost feel like I'm being gaslit. It's you all see this, right? You can't, it's again, it's entitlement. It feels entitlement. It's I deserve the right to do this. And it's you don't. Yeah. These aren't your characters. They're not your properties. They're not your games. You didn't spend $100 million to create them, to market them, to sell them, to bring them. It's Nintendo. People are it's about preservation. If Nintendo wants to delete Balloon Fight from existence, that's their prerogative. I'm sorry that you don't like it. You can not like it, and that's fine, but you're not owed that. Like that, you don't have an inherent right to that. It's theirs. They can do that if they want.
They should just delete it.
You know, like
Balloon Fight specifically. Just get that.
So, I'm all for piracy. Back up your games, make it more convenient, but not to the point where you're ripping off ROMs before even Street Tate stuff that playing Mario Wonder on your Steam Deck and shit.
I
Like,
had somebody
yourself.
tell me, that they 100%ed Echoes of Wisdom on their Steam Deck before it was out in any region.
There
I was
you
like,
go.
what are you
I don't do
doing?
that.
Just wait 2 days.
That I can't get behind. I don't think that's right and it's not fair. And for all of you people that like are pro gamer and pro developer, you're robbing the developers. You should be supporting them.
And
you should be
they'll
supporting because you love their games.
They'll be like, oh, well, Nintendo, multi-million-dollar billion company, they're not
bullshit.
going to miss my $60.
That's what Jeff said. Jeff said it's Nintendo chasing nickels and for their dollars.
Well, no, because remember we read that statistic of how many people, or how much they lost, how many millions of people downloaded Tears of Kingdom,
when they shut down Yuzu,
before.
They had like 10 million downloads.
Yeah, and like that's a lot.
It's a shit ton. It's like you're talking $1 billion if you're selling those at retail
for a
copies.
massive company like Nintendo, that is a significant amount of revenue for them. And you could argue, well, a lot of those people weren't going to buy it anyway. Who's to say? But they have the right to defend that.
Even if half of those people was to buy it, that's still a lot.
Yeah, they have the right. They have they're just as much the right to not do it as much as you want them to. I just don't get it. It's like, of course they're, and like other people are like, well, Nintendo or PlayStation does this because nobody's fucking trying to do their stuff. I guarantee you right now, if there was a PS5 emulator and you could play Ghost of Tsushima 3 days before release, PlayStation would shut that shit down.
PlayStation
Super
would put you in jail.
100% they would.
Like, no, you are going to jail.
But again, that shows the value. Nobody's doing that to them. You know why? Nobody cares. There's a specialness that comes with Nintendo games. It's sentimental, and people want to keep them. And so again, when you're like, their old games are not that valuable, if they're Nintendo games, they're very valuable. They are still fucking selling us NES games. They just sold Nintendo World Championship.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if notice that they didn't press charges against this developer of Ryuji NX? He says they offered an agreement to stop working on the project. What if they hired him?
When I first saw it, I was like, did they just cut him a check? They buy him out? But then when I kept reading, it sounded like no, they didn't. It sounded like
we will not sue you to the ground.
If you don't stop this, we will not present this case that we've built against you.
Yeah, I think they
How
should
do you like
hire
your
him.
legs?
Take his
Because you
skills.
can't have them anymore. We can't take them away. I have this bat here.
Or what is it in Casino? Listen, you can have the money and the hand, or you can walk out of here. You can't have both. You can either keep the money and we're going to break your hand, or you can leave the money and walk out. Your choice. I can't hear Rebecca at all.
Keep talking, Rebecca.
Okay.
Delvin. So rude. So rude. My cat is right next to my mute button here. I gotta move it. No, I think that they should make their enemies close into friends and, hire him and, put his skills to
work.
Good. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
They did that before. Who is that? Oh, it's in the documentary. There was a couple people that were making a ROM hack or something, and Nintendo was like, "Do you just want to work for us?" They just brought them in. They worked there for 8 years. I forget who it was. Anyway, I knew it was my little soapbox. I've been hearing about it kind of all weekend, and a little bit that I'm hearing. Honestly, again, people, just Jeff. Just listen
Those
to Jeff.
skills are transferable. They don't need a Switch emulator just yet, but I'm sure the skills he has are transferable. And,
it can always work.
I'm sure that they will eventually want to virtual console those Switch games.
1,000% they will. Still in the Nintendo wheelhouse, NSO got F-Zero updates. So F-Zero Grand Prix Legend released on the GBA in 2003, featuring both Grand Prix and story modes, and then F-Zero Climax was released in 2004 and played similarly to Grand Prix Legend. That game was only released in Japan, so this is the first time it's ever coming over. Both of those games are heading to Nintendo Switch Online, as well as Nintendo released a free update for F-Zero 99, which added 5 new tracks to the game, and a bunch of other stuff. So lots of
Wait,
F-Zero love.
not just the other stuff. Listen, 5 tracks from the Satellaview version of F-Zero, which means that these are like essentially lost levels, lost maps.
Preservation.
Satellaview, yeah, these are maps that people thought would never see the light of day, where the Satellaview was only available for a limited time. It was internet on the NES. And so people were able to, turn on their NES and, press a button and get reception from a satellite during this small window of time, these 2 hours on this one specific day to play these specific maps. And then they were gone.
Wow. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, that's
So
what
Donnie
The
said a
Legend of
bunch of other
Zelda
stuff.
had. The Legend of Zelda had a Satellaview. It was, this is old lost media that they are digging up and using.
Wow. There you go.
So they're have at you, game preservationists.
Nice.
Take that.
You can't see it with all of our cameras on here, but this is a PSVG Shack dual episode. I did have like a background. It was all halved up and what. Dev was supposed to be here, so I do have non-Nintendo news to talk about. Specifically, Tatanka, aka that long rumored Halo Infinite Battle Royale, got detailed this week by a YouTuber named Rebs Gaming. Rebs,
that's me. I'm Rebs
right,
Gaming.
Is that you? Are you Rebs Gaming?
I should be.
Rebs Gaming claimed that Tatanka was canceled last year because of a desire to focus on the next main Halo game and the support for the Battle Royale genre wavering. So the whole live service push and everything, Xbox reads the room, they go, never mind, we don't want to do this anymore.
I thought he was canceled because he was a Native American pretending to be a white man.
You're still on the Tatanka thing. It was being play tested weekly at 343. Players would drop onto a map on the Zeta Halo ring. They'd get there through an ODST style drop pod system. And as players explore the map, they'd pick up power items, equipment, shields while completing mini objectives. And then as the game unraveled, pelicans would fly over and drop off warthogs and mongooses and stuff. Sounds awesome.
Fun.
It does, doesn't it? Like, I was always on board with this. There's like an anti-Battle Royale thing from the Halo crowd, and they should definitely be listened to because I'm not in the Halo crowd. But because I'm not in the Halo crowd, something like this was something I thought I could have jumped into and play. I would have played this had they actually
add
released
it to the next Halo game. Just add it to the next mainline Halo game.
If it were me, I've said this 1,000 times. If it were me and I was Microsoft, the next Halo game I would launch everywhere possible day one, and it would have a Battle Royale mode in it. You know why? Because that's what every popular fucking shooter game is doing these days.
Yep.
Like, it's not hard. Like, just do what everybody else is doing. I think more and more it's hard to expect a AAA shooter multiplayer game to be a console exclusive. You're almost cutting its legs off before it ever gets a chance. So, and I think that'll probably play, right? Because Microsoft looks like they're going more and more third party. I expect the next Halo game will just like launch day one on PlayStation and Switch.
Really?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool.
This one's a fun one. Epic Games Tim Sweeney. The games industry is undergoing a generational change. A lot of games are being released with high budgets and they're not selling. What we're seeing is a real trend where players are gravitating toward the really big games where they can play with more of their friends. He thinks the future of gaming is social. What do you guys think?
I think that is there's something to be said for that. I'm trying to find the tweet. I read something about the number of concurrent players in, games like Genshin Impact, Fortnite, and we talk so much about how impressive it is when a game sells 25, 30 million copies. That's the concurrent number of players on some of these games at any given time. The retention for this is massive. And these are people that don't buy games. They play this game every day. I think we try to see a lot of these games turning into live service games that will be one of those games that have 10 million, 20 million people on it at any given time, where they can pump out content and that is that person's game. You really only need to hit big once and you've got yourself, a game for the next decade.
I think it's a little harder than that, but it makes sense. What do you think, Delvin?
I think
everybody wants to be that.
I think the problem
That's
with that
true.
is not everybody can be that. Not everybody
That's
can be
also
that.
true. Put
Right.
a pin in that. There you go. Both of you nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody
you
wants
know.
to be that, but not everybody can.
But everybody's
In fact-
trying.
In fact, most can't be that. That's the
'Cause-
problem.
I'm going to tell you, I think Tim Sweeney's full of shit.
Well, that's why you're seeing games that have things like season passes. You have things like Dead by Daylight making a game that is getting people excited for the next season. You know,
Yes.
it wants to be that.
I think Tim Sweeney's full of shit because one of the things that I think he's missing out on, he's like, the future of gaming is social. No, the future of gaming is free, according to Epic and Fortnite. The reason that you have so many people playing and they keep playing is because it's free.
I
You
think
can
it's
just
always
hop
been
in and
social.
play.
I think I agree with what he's trying to say. I just don't think he really said it the right way.
I also think he's saying the games industry is going generational change because games are being released with high budgets, not selling. But are the games being made with high budgets the games that people want to buy?
That's cool.
Because we just got Concord, which was made with a high budget, but nobody wanted it. And like nobody wanted Suicide Squad. Nobody wants that. What they wanted was another Batman game and a new Sony first party game. And they would have bought that. Also, the industry is changing. Nobody's buying games. We're all suffering. For the last 8 years in a row, you've all recorded record profits literally every single year. That we have yet to hit a year on record where a company said we're making less this year than we did last. That has yet to happen. Like this whole generation is not happening.
Yes.
Right. So
But
like
I agree with the high budget things, and then it's just taking so long to make these games that, you know, if it doesn't turn into that massive hit that, you know, has 20 million concurrent players at any given time, they see that as a failure.
yeah, but how many of these companies
Concord
are
is different.
how many of these companies are committed to, if they do hit, to supporting and developing that game for the next 10 years? Very few are. I didn't get a chance to weigh in on the Ubisoft stuff last week. I don't know what you guys talked about if this came up, but there's a lot of Ubisoft stuff in the news. And Ubisoft's like, we got to reevaluate. Like, you know what you got to reevaluate? Hyperscape, Rollerball, Heartland. All of these fucking service games that you've launched and failed over and over and over. Stop doing that.
When's the last time they made a Rayman?
Make Rayman. Make Far Cry. Make the games that people want to buy.
And
Like
that's
it's
what-
the
that's what I
people
was gonna
want to buy $60 games. It just ain't those games.
I think if you look at what the trend show is, people are more willing to invest in established franchises as opposed to buying something new and taking a risk of something new not being good, especially when it's for $70 now. Like, you know, it's a lot easier to be like, hey, you know what? I'll buy the new Call of Duty because I know I'm going to enjoy that, or the new Madden, or the new 2K, or the new God of War, or the new Spider-Man, or then invest in, hey, this Suicide Squad game might be good.
Yeah, what was that EA game that was Immortals of Avium, that like magic shooter? They put a bunch of money into that. It was Unreal 5. It looked great. And it didn't sell, and they were like, people don't want to buy games anymore. It's like, no, maybe people don't want to buy a magic shooter they've never heard of.
Yes.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe if you'd, instead of doing that, maybe if you'd made Battlefield Bad Company 3 that awesome, guess what? I bet it would have sold more.
I think a lot of studios need to take some kind of look at how the AA studios are doing it. Like, you know, Plague's Tale is the perfect example of that. They make a game that's at a lower budget, that's still high quality,
Space
and
Marine
it makes a profit. Space Marine's another one.
Yep.
Lower budget, high quality, people are buying them, and it's making enough money so they can make sequels to those games.
But no, we're going to spend $200 million on the next Battle Royale monolith, the next hero
They
shooter.
all want to
and
be
it's
the
like,
next
we got
Genshin
it.
Impact, Fortnite.
Exactly. So, interesting topic. Game Pass, MLB The Show, Open Roads, and Sifu are out now. I've wanted to play Open Road, so I'll probably look at that at some point. Mad Streets coming on October 7th, whatever that is, and an Inscription, which is a beloved game, comes out October 10th. Some quick headlines before we get into questions and wrap this thing up. Until Dawn leaks ahead of release. 5 hours of gameplay is already available on YouTube.
I've seen 5 hours of gameplay already of that game.
When does that
Several
come out?
years ago. It comes out this week. I think it's the
Does it?
5th.
Okay.
Sony blames a tech error for the PS5 dashboard changes that made all of the background tiles advertisements.
Oops, we accidentally hit a button that showed you more ads. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to take a week to fix it.
I was having some fun with Haley on that one. She was like, it was a glitch. I'm like, okay. Okay.
A glitch that they're not going to be so fast to fix.
So I wish Dev was here because I wanted to talk. I was actually thinking about this in my head before the show. I was like, how do I want to talk about this with Dev? Because I have a very techie kind of outlook on this question.
Yes.
Obviously, these images, the advertisements, these tiles, they're stored in a file directory that's on the system, right?
Yes, they are.
The tile is much smaller than the background. The tile is like 500 by 250 pixels. The background image is like a 4K fucking 50-inch screen image. All of those background images, when you look, they all looked great. They were full resolution. So either they have scaling for the items one way or the other, up or down, or as what I believe to be I think they were actually maybe internally testing this, and it wasn't meant to get out.
To see what the reaction was.
Just to see what it would look like, to offer it to developer, like, hey, what do you guys think about this? And it probably wasn't meant for prime time. And now they've gotten instant feedback that nobody wanted. Like I was actually kind of super pissed. I was like, oh my God, if they start splashing advertisements all over the fucking screen, I'm getting rid of the console.
Yeah, that's a bit too much, man. Yeah.
That's something I hate that on Xbox there is one tile reserved for an advertiser, and I hate that. I hate that one small tile, that insignificant tile. Like I open my Xbox and it's like, do you want a Big Mac? I'm like, I hate this so fucking. Get this shit off. I paid $500 for the machine. I should be able to control what the fuck is on the screen when I turn it on. Could you imagine if you bought a PC and Microsoft was like, Big Mac, you want some McNuggets today? Like, what the fuck? Like, you crazy?
I keep seeing a and this, people have said this for a while, but I keep seeing, especially more often this week, that Nintendo keeps winning by doing absolutely nothing. They have the most bare bones home screen, and you know what? It's kind of nice.
I've always defended it for being simple. It's nothing but simple. I still miss the Wii. I think the 3DS had it right. Icons, tiles, phones do it. That style,
I like simple theme.
That style has lasted. That style of OS has lasted 25 years. Like, just do that works. Just do that. But we'll see what they're cooking for Switch 2.
So we're gonna need a pop-up blocker for our PlayStation.
Yeah, you're gonna need what is the VPN? Like the VPN through Germany, so you don't get the damn ads on your dashboard. Oh my God.
Speaking of VPN, guess who downloaded Pokemon TCG Pocket and lives officially in New Zealand now?
They're about to come get you.
No, they're not.
Just like eugenics.
They cannot prove that I'm not New Zealandish.
The Nintendo's about to come get Rebecca.
No, my friends are doing it too.
How is it?
I have so many cool Pokemon cards now.
How is it?
It's okay. I haven't played the card game yet. Out of choice. I don't really care. I just like collecting the shiny cards. They're kind of nice. They're pretty.
Speaking of the cards, did you see what I did today?
No.
I got an alert from Wario64 that the Pokemon, the card game classic, was available at Sam's for $190. That is more than half off.
That's what you wanted, right?
I need one right. Like I bought the board. I have the board, but we didn't get the cards included with the board. I just bought the board from someone on eBay for $50. The cards alone sell for like $400 or $500 on eBay. And Rebecca, when I tell you, I ran to find somebody with Sam's Club membership. I was like, I need somebody to take my credit card right now.
I have Sam's Club membership.
I didn't know that.
And by me, I mean my parents do.
I found somebody at the office. We have a coworker at the office that had one. Okay. So he was able to log in and just buy it for me.
Oh,
but
cool.
I'm very excited to
So it's coming in the mail.
It's coming in the mail.
Nice.
Pal World is headed to mobile. We're unclear if that's like a mobile game or a port of Power World. Nobody knows yet, but they just
no way that's a port of Power World on your phone.
Probably not, but Resident Evil 7 runs on phone. Like I could see it. Like you could get it there. You could get it there.
Okay, that doesn't sound like a fun experience.
That I would agree with. Tango says they want Hi-Fi Rush 2 to be an open world type of experience.
I have to play Hi-Fi Rush 1 first to find out.
I really hope they drop like the reliance on the rhythm mechanic because an open world rhythm game sounds awful.
I forgot that Tango swooped in to save them.
Yeah, they got resurrected. Crow Country heads to PS4 and Switch on October 16th. I've been really wanting to play this game for some time.
I want to play that.
My son
I'm very excited for it. Put this one here for you, Delvin. AW strongly considering new partner for future video games. Shocking nobody.
They should strongly consider that by getting a new goddamn partner.
Maybe they should reach out to Epic and have live service AEW game.
I would throw my goddamn.
Just put Kenny Omega in Fortnite. The altars. The altars. You remember that game we were looking at? The altars. You like clone yourself and do that. It was delayed. Delayed to next year.
God damn it!
Yeah. Sorry. Dev is here, so or no, I'm done. I've been talking enough. Delvin, you do the rude part in the questions.
All right, we got a scoring update from the rude. Donnie and Devin got the under right on Lollipop Chainsaw Repop.
Nice.
All of you got The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom right as it hit over by 0.5. The line was 86. It was 86 and the line was 85.5. Now the score is Donnie 41, Delvin 37, and Devin 34.
Since Devin's not here, can I take his spot and be winning?
Yes.
Cool.
Can we give
You
her
mean
all
losing?
of his points?
No, but I would be winning.
Okay. Yes.
All right, that's fine. All right, let's go with the first over and under. Over or under a 68.5 for A Quiet Place, The Road of Head. The developers.
The Road of Head?
Yeah, The Road of
The Road of Head. That's
Yeah,
a game I can get behind.
Now that's a great quiet. That's a great Quiet Place game.
Day one.
Talking about A Quiet Place. Now that is.
Y'all would die.
Die happy.
Yeah, that's the best way to go right there.
Yeah. The developers Stormmind Games, Stormmind, made the award-winning, according to Google, Horror Saga Remothered, which the last game in the series got a staggering 39. They also made Batura Lost Haven, which got a 70.
I have no idea, and I'm going to
Wait,
take
the
the
game had a Metacritic score of 39?
Yeah, that's
Remothered
Remothered.
did. Yeah.
That's the last
And
one.
Remothered is like a cult classic. It is somewhat fan beloved. Yeah.
I played the first one. It's pretty good. The first Remothered.
Yeah, it's on Switch. I'm taking the under.
I want this game to be good. I'm going to take the under.
You, Rebecca.
What?
Just say over or under. Just pick one. Over or under.
For what?
Doesn't matter. Flip a coin. Just say over or under.
Over.
There we go. Over.
There we go.
Nice.
All right. This one's for Rebecca. This works for her. Over or under 86.5 for Mario and Luigi Brothership. For this, the Rude turns to Nintendo Insider Force Minutes for her thoughts on the game. That is a bad idea because she hates Mario.
You guys,
That's true.
I can't stand that, but I do like talking about critic scores. Is this, you guys use Metacritic?
We use Metacritic.
Yes.
I have not played any Mario and Luigi games. I'm going to be honest.
I'm taking the under.
And I'm not getting this one.
Under two.
It looks great. I actually think it has a good chance of being over, but I'm still going to take the under.
Oh,
Let's see.
under for sure.
I'm such a hater. Like, I just have never liked the Mario
Under.
Luigi games. Like, I've never been a big fan of these.
Under.
All right. So we're all under
right.
on that one.
All right. And out of left field, TPR comes in with this random ass over and under, which we're
Not
going to take,
random.
which we won't know the answer to till like next year.
That's true. I can't wait to hear Rebecca's answer.
Like next year. Okay, Rebecca. Over under, the new Knicks will win 51.5 games this regular season. They won 50 games all last season.
Over.
She's got 'em-
Why is this a Knick? Why do we give a fuck about the Knicks?
Is
No
that
one on
New
this
York?
podcast like the Knicks.
It is
Yes.
New York. Yeah.
Under.
The Knicks, man, you know, like their fans, they want a playoff series. They look like they had won 18 championships in a row. The way they were just like flaunting on people and stunting on people. It's like, you're the Knicks.
I don't like
You
New
haven't
York team.
sniffed the postseason in like in 20
one does,
years.
Rebecca.
Nobody cares. Yeah, 51 seems low. I don't
does.
know. It's a
They
good
won
line.
50 last season.
I would take the over. I just think they're good enough to they're good enough.
Yeah, I think they'll get 52, 53.
Cat's a good
I think
fit
they'll-
for them.
He
Like,
is.
that's a
why I
really
think
good
they'll
fit.
get
Their
extra
starting
two.
6 or 7 is really good.
Yeah. TPR, don't send me no more goddamn New York Knicks questions. Make this show last time sending a motherfucking Heat fan.
How did the
New York
Heat
Knicks
not get in
questions.
on Cat?
Oh, they have problems with their own.
'Cause they didn't even trade all that much to get him. It's like Randall and some stuff. Like that's not that
They
big a
should
deal.
have.
Yeah.
All right. The second one is true or false. The Knicks will make it to at least the second round of the playoffs.
True.
Absolutely not. False.
They'll get to the second round. They'll get out of the first round.
I don't think so. I'll go false. Rebecca, Knicks second round.
No.
There we go.
That's an
Lock
answer.
him in for depth. And you should be docked a point for questioning the Rude.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you questioned the Rude.
I
And I think he should
I
minus
should
one.
get- I should get several extra points.
Minus one.
No.
He's already
Five.
given you several extra. He's given you like 15 points this year.
No, he didn't.
He's already given you so many extra
He should
points.
give me more.
He's like the greatest kicker of all time, the amount of extra points he's giving you.
He
It's like
should give me
fucking
more.
Vanderjacked of PSVG, the amount of points he's giving you.
I should get more for just existing because I am Delvin.
Wow.
Legend.
All right. We've
All right,
got
let's get to
4
these
questions,
questions.
not even that long.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Our first question is from Rob 3K.
Rude days.
Question
Come
for
here
the
for
show.
Rebecca Insider NBA knowledge.
As you should.
Smart man.
Yes. All right. Question for the show. What's the next full-on Nintendo remake releasing for Switch or Switch 2? I'd love to go back to some N64 greats on NSO, but can't even with that camera.
Donkey Kong Wii, did we forget that that's coming?
Pre-ordered. I'm there. Can't wait.
Ew.
I'm all there. Fucking sucker for Donkey Kong. Did you see Rob 3000's questions in our chat, Rebecca?
No.
So he's playing Link's Awakening, and he's loving it so much. He's like, when is Nintendo going to remake these older Zelda games? To which I then responded with images of all the remakes. I'm like, they did that.
He did.
They're on 3DS and shit. He's like, what, Mario 64? Like, yeah, there's a DS copy of that, and they have the Mario Collect. And he's like, yeah, but I mean, like, he wants PlayStation levels of remake.
Yeah, he wants.
And he's like, it was very funny. He was like, surely they're going to do Ocarina soon on Switch too. And I'm like, it's good to have dreams.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if they're gonna do that, that would be the game they would do.
you think so? Do you think that's the next remake Zelda game?
No. I didn't.
Because I don't
say
either.
that.
No, I
I
don't
did
think
not say
that's-
that. I said if they were going to do, like a Final Fantasy VII reimagining of a Zelda
Yes,
game, it's
that I
going
agree
to be
with.
Ocarina of
It should
Time.
be Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I would
Yes.
agree with you there.
No, the next Zelda game that they're gonna do is probably. Well, I don't know. I think they're gonna do a 3D one. Where's our Wind Waker? I'm getting
Yeah,
back on that train.
I mean, I think the Wind Waker Twilight Princess will show up at some point on Switch 2. I think that will happen.
I think that will happen before Seasons Ages, and Grezzo will probably work on that next.
I could see Grezzo doing a remake.
What is,
I also think the next remake, and I'll just point out XBS, I think nails it. There's been a Fire Emblem remake in the rumors for years, and I think that's probably
yeah,
going to happen.
I've heard that rumor.
The next remake is probably going to be a Fire Emblem game.
I think I could see them pulling out like a really, sleeper kind of remake. Like, we'll have a random trailer one day
F-Zero.
for Eternal Darkness remake.
That'd be cool.
I think that's
That
gonna
would be
pop up
amazing.
someday.
How about something like Soul Reaver? Like PlayStation did. Get the fuck about Soul Reaver. Oh, Donnie, I think you
I'm
muted.
trying to think what else.
You're muted, Donnie. Yeah, we
You're
can't hear you.
definitely muted. I don't really see them remaking any of like their 2D top-down
Still can't hear you.
games. Maybe they'll pull out like another Star Fox or something.
That's what I
Maybe
want,
instead
Star
of
Fox.
instead of making a new one.
Fully remake Star Fox. I would love that.
Isn't Genealogy of the Holy War, that Fire Emblem game, supposed to get a remake?
I think it was.
That was like rumored for a long time.
think it was. Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, I will shade Soul Reaper as many times as possible. That's a dumbass game to remaster. Nobody wants that shit. Still can't hear you, Donnie. Not at all. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. Oh, hello. Oh, his Wi-Fi is like bad. Did you see? It was going away. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There you go. You're
bad.
I sound bad now?
Oh no. You're good
now. You sound better.
Oh, so I just lost all sound.
All sound.
Out of nowhere. All sound just stopped working. And I unplugged my microphone, plugged it back in, and I could hear you now, but then I couldn't. So I just flipped some sources and came back.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything you guys just said.
We just listed all of Nintendo's back catalog, and that every game should be remade.
Sure, that's what we do. Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
The answer should be Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh yeah.
That is the answer. That is the answer. We found
a remake of Diddy Kong Racing would get me so over the moon, fucking excited.
Like I know they did that on the DS, but like,
no.
Come on.
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing should be it. They've got so many other games, so many other franchises. Like I think Star Fox is due for a good remake. They need to reintroduce.
You might not have heard it. Yeah, we said
they need to reintroduce the brand, reintroduce the characters to people, and get people playing it again. Like what they're doing right now with F-Zero. We need to do that with Star Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So
they did that with Pikmin. They remade Pikmin games before putting out 4. And
is there a Yoshi or something they could do?
No.
Kirby? They could always put Planet Robobot on.
They just did. They just remade Nightmare in Dreamland.
True. Do it again. Planet Robobot.
Okay.
There's a lot of 3DS games that I think could come to Switch. You know, there's a ton of 3DS games. I know that's what Rob was wanting. N64 stuff, but
they're kind of recent. I feel like Nintendo's not going to touch them again until 5-10 or more years.
Link Between Worlds would be.
Yeah, but they wait like a minimum of 10 years before remaking something.
Hey, we're getting there. It's close.
Oh, don't say that.
It's not that far away.
Donnie, please.
When did Between Worlds come out? Was it 14?
13.
So we're there.
Yeah.
$13.
Yeah, we're there. I would adore a Fire Emblem Awakening remake. That would be beautiful.
Would be cool.
Yeah. XBS Link Between Worlds is over a decade old. Yeah. Man, Kid Icarus with this damn Icarus thing again. If they remake or remaster Icarus when they could have made any other game, I'm gonna be so pissed.
So that is Nintendo's Soul Reaver, Kid Icarus. The game that doesn't need to get remastered to keep it like,
we know you want Ocarina and Link Between Worlds, but we've got Ice Climber. Like, oh my fucking god!
Balloon fight. Get this bullshit off my screen.
Balloon fight HD, Excite Bike HD.
What if they did, like with netcode and stuff? What if they did like a collection of Smash games?
Why?
You know, they would be cool.
No,
they were like, here's like the original Smash and Melee, and like you just kind of wrap them all in. It's like kind of create it like it becomes like a service, like Halo Master Chief Collection, but for Smash Brothers.
Why don't you just put them on Switch Online?
You could, sure, yeah, you could.
You could, or you could just sell me a box with all 3 of those games.
Could you imagine if like Switch 2 has like GameCube support, and then one day we wake up and it's like every Smash game is like in Nintendo Switch Online? That would be awesome.
Now we're talking. Where's the new Punch Out?
Yeah, Punch Out.
I would take a new Punch Out.
Punch Out's way better than Kid Icarus. I will hate on Kid Icarus, Jules, as I have for 10 years. Like, where have you been?
It's not very fun.
No.
Only Kid Icarus I like was in Captain N. That was before I played the game. All right. I feel like we got this question before, but I'm going to read it anyway. You switch places with each other for 12 hours.
Boy, it's way different with Rebecca on the cast.
Yes, it does. I don't think I should read this question.
It's not going to go into a healthy place, that's for sure.
We all know what the answer is.
1,000% we do.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to hold this
Rebecca.
question to next week.
She has to switch bodies with one of us.
Yeah, I'm going to hold this question till next week. Never mind. We're not doing that today. All right. Brendan asked, which Nintendo franchise has the best music?
Zelda.
Yes.
Mother.
Zelda is.
No.
Oh my God, he just said it.
I mean, that's not even remotely true.
Okay. We're all entitled to our own opinion.
That's true. But I've got like 30 albums of discography against your mother music.
Everyone, what?
There's so many Zelda soundtracks.
I know, that's such an easy answer, though. I'm trying to offer more interesting content to y'all's freaking podcast here.
Icarus, Star Tropics. I'm just going to play the hits. Star Tropics. Golden Sun.
Yes, the pause menu alone.
Now, you know the answer is, Rebecca. The answer is the poll that you lost. It's fucking ARMS. With that banger of a title track. Absolute crusher of a soundtrack.
How about this? Smash Bros has the best soundtrack because it's everything.
Oh, she beat us.
That's a good point.
Smart answer.
I'm old, so I'm going to say Super Mario 3.
Ew.
You're like that.
What?
There's like 5 songs in the whole game.
Her hatred of Mario.
Slap. All
her
those
hatred
songs
of
slap.
Mario. God. Still haven't played Wonder.
Damn shame. But she on here talking about Astrobot.
Yeah, Astrobot makes me feel like a kid again. It's so fun. It's such a fun game to play. It's so friendly.
You know what else is? Mario Wonder.
And I love, oh man, I'll never. It was so fun that day. She's going hard. Dev, you haven't even played it. You're just being a hater.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't talk badly about Mario
Miss
Wonder.
Kettle.
Yeah.
I don't. No, I've never said anything bad about it. Also,
Blue Days. Remember how you put receipts up on me? You need to go do that for Rebecca now.
KK Slider.
I was just going to say Animal Crossing has really, really good, calming, relaxing music. Like, put that on when you're studying or doing work. Really
I love
good.
the Captain Boat rides from the 3D. This shit was the best. Trying to get my wife on the 3DS version of Animal Crossing. She won't give it a chance. She's averse to change. I'm like, you should play this one. She's like, why? I'm like, it's better. It's a better game.
I like the follow-up. Which is your least like?
I don't know what that means.
Which franchise has the crappiest music?
Super Mario Bros. 3.
Oh my
God.
Wow.
Becca. You just breaking my heart all day today.
No, unironically, like literally unironically, Kid Icarus. Like, have you heard some of the music in that NES game? Holy crap, it is bad.
Yeah, it is.
I honestly don't know.
I'm not even being a hater.
I wonder if I feel like some like Mario Party or like a Wii Fit or something. Like there's got to be something.
You know
like
what
that.
else has really good
Oh,
music?
Wii Music.
Oh.
Game sucked.
Can I go?
The whole game was about music.
Can I go back to a really good one?
Okay.
Splatoon.
Oh, Splatoon's music is pretty fucking awesome.
They have in-game bands.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh, is there a game that you don't enjoy to play? He says Sonic. I don't know why he says Sonic. He says say Sonic.
Because he knows us.
That's a good question though.
He says, but you still enjoy learning or hearing the music, and I absolutely have. I have 2 games immediately come to mind for this.
Kirby.
That is not it. But
That's for me. No, that's for me. I don't play Kirby games.
You're just breaking our hearts today. You're
just killing it. She's like
everything we love.
Yep. It's like that Grim Reaper thing. She's just walking down the hallway, killing IP one at a time.
I like Final Fantasy music, but I don't play the games.
Mine are more in line with yours. I think the music in Destiny is incredible. It's epic music. And I feel very similarly about Persona. I don't like playing those games, but I love the style, I love the art, I love the cartoons, and I love the music.
I love Kirby as a character. I love the music. I love the visuals. I just don't play the games.
You just don't like that fat fuck, huh?
I love Kirby.
What is it,
Kirby's
just
the
against fat
best.
people?
He's
That's
the
what it
best.
is?
No, I love
Oh,
Kirby.
Kirby's
Brown.
man.
Pudgy, lovable, blob.
He's great. I love the character.
Kirby could be a Pokemon. They should put Kirby in Pokemon.
They did. It's called
Kill all the
Jigglypuff.
Yeah, but like they should just have Kirby like show up.
Yeah.
It's
He already
like a
shows up
fucking
in Zelda.
A battle for the ages. Kirby versus Jigglypuff. I would
They
watch the
put
shit
Kirby
out of
in
that episode.
Every game.
Kirby versus Mewtwo. Battle for it all.
He would win.
Yeah, he would.
Kirby's the GOAT. Unbeatable. So please don't try to phase him.
He's the GOAT.
I can't think of anything that like I don't like. I like the music and I don't like the game. 'Cause
Arms.
most of the games
No,
I like.
you like most games. This is the ongoing dilemma. Everything is good to you.
Yeah, pretty much everything.
You got to try real hard to hate a game,
And I've played some crappy ones.
and you're still like, it's good. Like Frank Stone.
Thanks, though. Good
You're
guy.
disagreeable.
I'm just nice. I just don't.
You liked Detective Pikachu.
That's fine. He's a lovable guy.
I mean,
Love
yeah,
those
I
guys.
like Pikachu too. I don't like Detective Pikachu.
You don't like him
It's
with
like
the
a
hat?
Scholastic Book Fair video game.
I liked the movie.
That's fine. I like the Scholastic. What do you got against the Scholastic Book Fair? That
Listen,
was
the
great.
Scholastic Book Fair was the most exciting day of elementary school, Donnie.
Goddamn right.
It was like a Flash video game that you would
Right.
play like. It's like some shit you would play at a dentist's office or something. It's like,
Yeah.
Do you
Pikachu.
did y'all's dentist office have video games? Because mine did.
No, mine did not. We come from very different
It was
backgrounds.
like
Yes.
very
Rebecca, I grew up in the projects.
Right.
We did not have
I was
video
happy
games
if my
on
dentist
this.
had fucking Advil. She's like, did he
Yeah.
have video games?
Yeah.
No.
Lucky he had painkiller.
Right.
Lucky I was just trying to pull out my teeth for
I remember he
pliers.
just yanking this shit on my fucking jaw. She's out here fucking playing Pac-Man.
He had a
Wow.
fucking office instead of back in somebody's garage.
I went to a kid's dentist and they had like very sticky N64 controllers that were
Fuck
like
them kids
attached
doing
to
there.
screens that you
They're
could
out
play.
there
But they were
fucking
always
GoldenEye and shit.
taken. They were always taken, so I couldn't play.
I bet
But
they
I would
were.
watch.
Well, I wouldn't want to touch them controllers.
Yeah, it was pretty gross
Them
looking back.
controllers probably brought COVID. That's what it did. Those nasty ass grubby kids controllers in dentist offices. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Some dude came to my job today coughing. I told him get the fuck out. You gotta get
But
out.
it made me not hate going to the dentist. And guess what? Today, I kind of like going to the dentist. So I guess the conditioning worked.
She shows up. She's like, where the hell's the 64?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, Rebecca, you're an adult woman now.
And I still like N64 games.
She like pulls her Switch out of her back pocket. She's
Yeah.
like, we'll see.
No, I'm not.
My dad, by the way, beat the first dungeon in Echoes of Wisdom. He sent me a picture that he beat the boss. I'm very excited
That's awesome.
for him. Can I tell you, he has been playing hundreds of hours of Tears of the Kingdom. He's doing every side quest, finding every well, finding everything. He has not gone to fight Ganon yet. He is saving that
I love it.
to the very end.
Enjoy
That's
your
great.
game. I love it. Enjoy your
I
game.
like it.
Hmm. He has no idea what that final boss fight is like, and I can't wait for him to see it.
Is your
Yeah,
dad
it's
gonna
pretty
play
incredible.
this one, the new one?
Yeah, he beat the
just
first
beat the first
dungeon.
dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you saying.
Yep.
Like him.
Yeah, I think
Good
he's
man.
getting all the Koroks and everything.
Okay. All right. Last question, which is going to be a short one. Captain Awesome asks, if they let you in charge, how would you fix Overwatch? Or is it pretty much done? It's done, son. Overwatch is dead.
Do they have like it's not dead though? Like they have had players playing it. and
Yeah, they
stuff.
still have
It's just
people
not what it
playing it.
used to
Yeah.
be, right?
Yeah.
I would whatever they did with Overwatch 2 and 1, like just if it's not already, just combine them into one thing. Stop calling it something, just call it Overwatch.
Yeah.
Right? Just create a new app. It's called Overwatch. If you bought either one of them, you have it. Just call it Overwatch and just leave it alone. Just let Overwatch be Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
They should have did the Fortnite thing and just let you add on to it every year. Every year, just add new stuff to Overwatch because that was the one that people was on.
You know what I would
think it
do? I'd hit up Netflix, like CD Projekt Red, and I'd get a cool ass anime for Overwatch.
Overwatch has the coolest characters. Like their characters are super cool.
They could do a lot more with that, I feel like.
And people wanted
People
like a
love that
single
character.
player thing, right? Instead of making a single player game, I would create single player stories like in an anime and just let that be the story of the game, and then you go play the service game.
That can work.
And then put everybody in Fortnite. That's how you win today. Your characters get in Fortnite, you win.
Yeah, so that's how you do it. You save Overwatch by just putting them in Fortnite.
Just put it in Fortnite. You play Overwatch in just actually, you know what? Just put Overwatch in Fortnite. It's one of those tiles when you open up Fortnite. It's like you have fucking Lego and race cars and Fall Guys and Overwatch.
Yeah, there you go. Overwatch. There you go. Problem solved.
That people play.
No more.
Is Overwatch free to play? Like it should be, right?
Is it?
No, it's not. I don't think so.
Okay, well that's the other thing to
right?
do. You got to make it free to play. Nobody pays for multiplayer shooters.
Overwatch
anymore.
2 is free to play.
There you go. So they already did that part.
Well, it's free.
Yeah, it needs a cool anime and Fortnite, and they're back in profit. Cool anime, Fortnite, profit. We did it. Fixed it. Send us the check, Xbox. You know how Xbox is going to fix Overwatch? By firing everybody that makes Overwatch.
That's going to work. Yeah.
And eating the game. That's how they're going to do it.
It's
As they chase growth by making less games somehow. It's an interesting strategy. We'll see. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
So you grow by cutting off your legs.
If you cut all the profits, eventually you will see growth as it climbs back up.
Yeah. You got to fall first.
If you only make one game a year and then you make two, that is growth.
Yeah. I like it. I respect it. Yeah,
Is that it?
Here. Yeah.
Okay. Show's over. Once again, reiterate, this show will go out over both feeds. So if you're listening to this on the Nintendo Shack feed and you're upset you heard Halo Battle Pass stuff, sorry. If you listen to the PSVG feed and you're like, what the fuck is this 80 minutes of Zelda? Sorry. It's a tough week. Folks got things to do, and we're kind of
maybe it will
off.
encourage PSVG listeners to listen to the Nintendo Shack and vice versa.
That was the intent. And then Dev quit.
Yeah.
So,
he hates
the
me.
So the crossover just became Shaq.
Guys, we have to start planning the Christmas crossover episode right now in order to get everybody on board.
We have to plan it now? Why do we
have to
plan it
everybody
now?
Because when we get close, everybody's like, I'm busy this day, I'm busy that day. And then we end up having like
That's because nobody wants to do it. That's because it's only you and I. Like, you know what? It'll just be me and Haley.
But it's my
me and
favorite.
Haley can do it. I know, but nobody else wants to do it.
Haley's
every year I gotta pull Delvin's fucking teeth to get him to join. You know, nobody wants to do it. So I'm not gonna try to. I'm gonna pick the date, and that's gonna be when it is. And if it's all by me,
I'll be there.
Because last year I was trying to herd cats, and we moved it. I'm not moving the dates anymore. This is the day. If you can make it, great. If you can't, best of luck. Thanks for trying.
Here's my plan. The last day, the day we're going to go on vacation, you know, the PSVG.
You want that to be the Christmas show?
That should be the Christmas show.
But it's going to be a month before Christmas.
Who gives a fuck?
But then it's not Christmassy. That's the whole point. That's the thing.
No, that way everybody's.
Donnie,
not
are your Halloween decorations already up?
Yes.
They've been up since
then
January.
You can celebrate Christmas a few weeks early.
Yeah. Donnie's decorations been up since January. This is his holiday.
I don't like that plan at all. Listeners,
That's
let us
the best
know.
Plan.
Let us know what you think about Delvin's plan. If you like it, I'll go with it.
Yeah, we can record it early. That way, we don't have to find Dev and find everybody else. Everybody's still.
Yeah, if we invite Haley and Rebecca and we tell him to be Wednesday night, he's not going to show up like he did tonight.
Well, we just won't tell him shit.
We just won't tell him. He just opens.
Just opens up.
See, I there's a part of me that likes that we record it right before Christmas and then we release it on Christmas Day because everybody's off of work, right? And it's like, I know you're not going to do it Christmas morning, but like Christmas afternoon, the day after, like you have a podcast.
Yeah, people are off of work.
I like that. I think that's cool.
I like it too.
We could just record it and no one is in the chat.
Plus, Delvin, I need those weeks when we're off to catch up on the games that I talk about.
I think that's what we do. I think we do. Yeah, we record it offline.
Yeah, we recorded offline. We've never recorded
whatever. We have 2 months to think about it.
I don't have 2 months to a goddamn thing. Y'all have to
be me, you, and Haley, Rebecca. Watch. Be me, you, and Haley. Maybe I can bully Sean into doing it if it's like in the right time zone.
Yeah.
But Dev's
But
going to
it's
quit.
not complete.
Delvin's going to quit. Snurts isn't going to be here. Josh
Snurts
and
will be here.
Kyle. Josh and
Snurts
Kyle
is
won't do
required
it.
to be here. 'Cause he's
Maybe.
like,
Do you think I get Chalfie to do it?
Mhm.
He's not going to do it either.
You can get Snurts though.
I'm going to start mandating it. It's required or you're off the team.
That's not gonna work.
You want a podcast this year? You need to be here.
I think we will have no podcasters left if you do that.
It'll just be me and you. Me, you, and Haley. Like, it's just that's the singularity. The PSVG is just devolving into the singularity. It's just me, you, and Haley.
Yeah.
We're going to start a Life is Strange podcast, and that'll just be it.
There you go. Tales from Arcadia.
I love it.
Arcadia Bay.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for this week's episode, everybody.
D-Life,
wish you the
shut
best.
up.
Have fun.
That's your goddamn face.
See, we got one vote. We have one nay already. Yeah, actually, I'm going to leave it up. We should leave it up to the Rude. That's fair.
What? How is that fair?
We'll let the Rude preside over this decision.
What?
Rude, you investigate. You talk to the members of the community. You discourse with the 7, and you let me know what the 7 want. Do they want the Christmas show on November 29th? Or do they want a Christmas show fucking coming out on Christmas? That's it. All right. We're ending the show. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. We'll see you next week.
Whenever you're ready.
Goodbye, everybody.
This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?